Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. We back. We should be live. Let's make sure I'm in the right area. Yeah, we should be live, ready to go. Happy Thursday, guys. We got a few things today. We're covering a few. We got Davis Asari. We got Dana White. We got wrestling. We got jiu-jitsu. We don't got no judo, though. Where's the judo at? Yeah, we don't have judo right now. Make sure I'm in the right thing. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth for my people that celebrate that. Sorry, we got Dana White. Okay, we definitely live. So we got Davis Asari, the first thing. Man, how did you guys feel about him competing at is that the right one? At UFC BJJ, because my boy John is defending Davis. That's his name, right? Davis? Sorry, am I saying it right? I don't know. Kind of. I want to get your guys' thought. Yeah, Davis. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that, but I thought it was kind of low. I thought it was kind of a cheap move. John, my boy John's defending him, but I mean, if somebody had done that to John would be complaining. John would be complaining nonstop. I mean, John wouldn't be out there doing no-gi anyway, though. So let's watch it. We'll let some people jump in here, but let's go ahead and watch it.
Davis. Beautiful Davis.
There you go.
Nice, Davis.
Perfect.
Nice, Davis.
Yeah, you got it right there.
Nice, Davis.
Nice job.
Go, David.
So the issue is, I can see where people have problems. The guy was going for the handshake. Is this the video? Can we see a different angle? The guy was going for the handshake, and then he shot the double leg, which he says he didn't see the hand. That guy looks familiar. Who is that guy? He's like, my ankle, knee jacked up, ankle jacked up. What's that guy's name? I can't see it. He says he didn't see the hand. I didn't see the hand. John is defending him. I don't really defend too many people. I'm got my hands full defending myself. I don't know, man. That hand was up there. The hand was up there. You know, there was no sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. The hand, he was pretty far away, though. You didn't see his hand? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. He said he didn't see the hand. I don't really believe it, but, you know. Don't trust me all the time on. Yeah, I mean, I understand. The guy did do a roll, and then he was coming up with the hand out. And then now his hamstring's destroyed, so. Thanks, Davis. You basically messed that dude up. Let's read the comments real fast. It says, sounds good, bro. Next time I'll just throw a right hook in my MMA match when he comes to touch the gloves. Yeah. Douche move. It was a crankle. Just saw red, I see. He shouldn't have gone for it. Once the ref says go, the match is on. Yeah, I don't really listen to people that say this stuff. Most times people shake hands. I mean, it's not an agreed upon thing. And then, you know, you destroyed this guy's leg. Got his hamstring all jacked up. Man, this guy got jacked up out there. Dang. Dude, he tried to high five the dude, and dude goes to tear his leg off. So that's the state of grappling right now. You try to have some decorum, and people try to tear your leg off. So that's our sport. That's what you guys love. That's what you guys support. I'm not watching UFC BJJ. I'm watching these clips for you guys. So I don't support it, but you guys support it. What else were they saying? Think we can forgive you, but you should have dapped the next homie. Karma's crazy, bro. Because didn't Davis get his leg broken too at PGF? This is karma for real, bro. I try not to hurt nobody. I'd be rolling. Even in tournaments, I'd be like, man, sorry about that, bro. You okay? You can't talk to the ref, but there's no rule about talking to the other guy. It says, Cap, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Great performance. Lie. Sounds good, bro. Someone said that already. Douche move. We read that. Why are all the comments the same? Instagram be making them fake comments over here to make it seem like it's packed. It's the same comment over and over again. Yeah, I don't think that was a good move. I understand you can do it. But again, karma, guys, karma's real. Karma's real, bro. You do the dick move. It was a dick move. This stuff might come back to you. And listen, if any of these guys got issues with what I'm saying, I'll do a match with them. They can call me out anytime. Anytime they can call me out. I'm not gonna let them double leg me from the handshake. I just won't go for the handshake. Yeah, it looks like an Aoki, so not only looks like it attacked the knee, that LCL. So not only did he do the douchebag move, the no handshake double leg, but he also tore the guy's ligament off. So, that's life, man. It sucks. It sucks. So yeah, that's how we're starting today. We starting off with fireworks. Man, that sucks, bro. Getting your leg torn and I mean, you got the fake handshake, the no handshake to the double leg, and your legs torn off. Dang. Life not fair, man. Guys, let me know the stream is going slow. I'm seeing some stuff on here, but I can't tell. Let's move on. Again, happy Juneteenth. We got Mayrim over here doing some capoeira. I don't know if we can play the music though. Oh, it doesn't have music. That's why Mayrim be so good. That capoeira, man. A lot of your favorite grapplers, your Cobrinhas, your Lepres, your Langies. They got, I think even Cyborg can do a little bit. Mayrim, he better stick to jiu-jitsu. You learn a lot of awareness, movement skills. It's almost like gymnastics, flexibility, mobility. These guys are doing good. Apparently, it was his ankle. That dude was literally crying to the doctor. Oh, he was holding his knee though. It might have damaged more than just the ankle. It looked like it damaged more than just the ankle, but I could be wrong. No sound, but capoeira. Is that you, Anderson? Hey, all these good jiu-jitsu guys be out here doing capoeira. So if you guys want to get good at jiu-jitsu, you might need to add some capoeira to your training. And yeah, man, that's awesome. Cool to see. So we got Asian Championship coming on this weekend. I think it already started. So they have Yaganuma Shiho. It says couldn't make it to the 2025 World Championship. So we brought her World Championship shirt to her. Shiho was the first ever Japanese athlete to win a black belt world title, one of only 2 in history. So I think the other one was Yuasa. So 2 girls. I think there was a dude that won a black belt world championship, but I could be wrong. So shout out to her. The Japanese, I mean, not so much in recent history, but the Japanese used to do really well in the tournament scene, especially with the ladies. And, you've always had some Japanese Brazilians out there, your Satoshis, your Andy Murasakis, and a few other people that have been out there doing pretty well. So they've always had a presence out there. And, of course, with Asia, I'm not sure Jessica Khan is Japanese. I've seen her in Japan competing, but I'm not sure where she's from exactly. America, but I'm not sure. I've seen her in Asia a lot. But yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know. If you guys ever get the chance, go out there, man. Go compete. Go represent, Don't just watch the live stream. Go out there, compete. And I'm going to watch your videos. I'm going to critique those videos. Some wrestling news. We got Tim Sewis. I can't say his last name. He's retiring, I believe. He was assistant coach for Northwestern University from 1981 to 1989. Wow. And then head coach from 1989 to 2010. And director of Ken Craft Midlands from 2010 to 2025. So a long wrestling career. 1981 to 2025. That's a... How many years was that? 40? About 40 years. Over 40. So pretty cool to see these guys. You got the old guys retiring. You got the new guys going into the wrestling coaching. Guys like David Taylor, Jordan Burroughs, possibly Kyle Dake. You got the young guys stepping up into the international scene. Your Spencer Lees, your Yannis, your David Carrs. You got the young guys stepping up into the collegiate sphere. Your Bo Bassett's, your Jax Forrest, PJ Dukes. You got your height. Well, yeah. So it's just a part of this part of life, man. You got to make room for the next generation. That's all we can do. So shout out to him, Coach Tim, Northwestern. Who's this guy? You guys remember this guy? My internet's going slow, guys. Maybe somebody's streaming something. It's not me. I mean, I'm streaming, but I'm not streaming the video. Yeah, let me know if it's lagging, guys. It seems to be lagging on my end. Yeah, my computer's going slow. Could be Instagram too. Could be Instagram. I know you guys like to make fun of me having all my tabs open. Yeah, let me know if it's breaking up for you guys, because nothing's working for me right now. Can I move on? Will it move on to something else? I think it's Instagram or my web browser. No, looks like Instagram's working. Come on, Instagram, activate. I want you guys to see this clip. All right, it's fighting me. What I'm gonna do is push it back, and hopefully we can get it to work later. So we're talking about Asian Championship. Shout out to Bonsai. Oh, that's good. Shout out to Bonsai. So, Satoshi and his brothers, his family's gym. I fought some of these guys. I didn't fight Satoshi. I almost fought the brother, though. Marcos, I believe his name is. IBJF says, we visited Bonsai Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Shibuya, Tokyo, last night to film and interview the legendary Souza family. Originally from Sao Paulo, the Souzas moved to Japan to build the Bonsai team and have become incredible ambassadors for the art. Stay tuned for the full story. So it's crazy. IBJF is just now doing, kind of covering these stories. covering these people. All these years they ain't covering nobody. Bonsai, really tough team. It's crazy when you go to Japan. There's like a lot of Western people, a lot of Brazilian people, a lot of Western people. So Bonsai's a good gym. Carpe Diem's a good gym. Axis is a good gym. You can't really go wrong if you go to Japan.
UFC's wrestling problem. I heard that you've solved it.
Yeah, UFC's on the decline. Too many boring ass wrestlers taking over the divisions. So UFC basically called me. They said, hey, can you help us out? Can you help Jack Della beat Bilal Muhammad? And we just fixed his wrestling overnight. So now we got exciting strikers taking the belts.
What's the strategy? How do you beat wrestling?
First of all, you're not going to have the most intelligent human being in the sport of wrestling like some of us articulate, high social skills people in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? It's basically jocks versus autistic people. We're going to win the war. You know what I mean? They have the takedown, they have the initiation, but they have no follow-up. They're confused. It's like a dog chasing a car. They don't know what to do once they get it. In wrestling, they get the pin. It's over. The referee saves them. They stand back up. That's where jiu-jitsu takes over.
Yeah.
Shout out to Craig Jones, bro. Craig Jones representing our sport. I'd be jumping on Craig Jones too. I'm gonna close some of these tabs. Maybe that'll help. Maybe having a million tabs open slows my computer down. What do you guys think? But shout out to Craig Jones. I do come after Craig a little bit too. But he's doing better than all these other dudes. I trust Craig Jones over Dana White any day. I trust Craig Jones over Mo. Sorry, Mo. Mo trusts Craig Jones too. Mo ain't coming after Craig Jones no more. You get it? This guy Craig is funny character. Anyway, Sambo over BJJ. Well, I ain't seen no Sambo guy beat a BJJ guy in a grappling event in a while. And it's been a while. You could say, well, Josh Barnett is catch wrestling. Those Sambo guys can't beat us. In MMA, probably. Yeah. Shout out to Craig, man. He be doing it, bro. I ain't gonna read those comments. We got the Penn State lineup.
Shirting Ono next year.
Says redshirting Ono and starting Marcus Blaze right away. Penn State losing elite guys like Carter Strachey, Bo Bartlett, and Greg Kirkliet. So let's see their lineup. 125, gonna have Luke Leidenhall. 133. I can't play the music, guys. Sorry. Marcus Blaze. I'm gonna read it for you. 141. Braden Davis or Aaron Nagile. Braden Davis was in trouble, wasn't he? Shane Varnes for 149. Tyler Kasak or PJ Duke at 157. They're going to have to wrestle off for that position. Mitchell Messenbrink, 165. Mitchell Messenbrink, he pretty solidified now. Levi Haynes, 174. He's solidified too. Rocco Welsh, 184. 197, Josh Barr. Did Josh Barr win? Did he win the NCAAs? And Cole Mersola at 285. So this is going to be an interesting year. Next year's going to be an interesting wrestling year. We'll see what happens. Penn State losing a lot of their heavy hitters, so we'll see what happens. It says, is Penn State lineup better or worse than last season? So does freestyle just not translate very well? No style truly translates well to another. That's not true. The mat wrestling is just too different. Not naturally. Still got to learn match positions. Folk style is harder. People don't understand you actually need to control in our style. I'll be honest, bro. The world doesn't care about folk style. I know all the Americans, folk style, blah, blah, blah. People international don't care about folk style. They want to see freestyle. I don't know why America continues to put so much effort in folk style. I'm coming from the lens of international wrestling, world championships, Olympics. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could say folk style gives you an edge, more control. But, when you're wrestling against kids that all they do is freestyle since 4 years old, they don't need to learn the rules. They know the rules. They know the strategies. I just don't see the point, really, in pushing folk style in college. And listen, the proof is going to be in the girls. The proof is already in the girls. Look at how the girls did at the Olympics compared to the guys at the Olympics. Case closed. I mean, heck, I'd rather America focused on Greco. You guys already got Greco programs. Focus more on Greco, focus more on freestyle. And listen, folk style I don't know. I like folk style too, but that ain't going to help you win the Olympics. I ain't seen no folk style person win the Olympics since David Taylor in 2021. He's the last person to win. He's the last folk style wrestler. I mean, he stopped doing folk style for a long time. He's the last folk style based wrestler that won the Olympics in 2021. All the girls, they wrestle freestyle. Kennedy Blades, Helen, Amit. What's the other girl? I can't remember the girl's name right now. Well, we can get in some arguments here, but I'm sure 33 and 41 is going to play out at the Black Knight Open or another early season tournament, same as 157 with Duke and Kazakh. Both have RS available, which is good. Red shirt availability. I think Ono red shirt may have something to do with the academic transferring piece as well. I'd like to see Kazakh or Duke wrestle off with SVN for 149. I think it's going to be a good year for wrestling. Iowa coming through, Oklahoma, some of these other programs. So it should be exciting. We're going to be following wrestling next year too. I'm thinking about skipping Pans to go watch the NCAAs. What do you guys think? What do you guys think I should do? Should I compete at Pans or go to NCAAs?
But I know Tolentino fresh off his 7th place finish. Freestyle Nationals, so he was my student for years. So
got the music. I can't play the video. Anyway, Jay Flo's talking about wrestling and an old student, and he's like, yeah, this kid's super good. And then he commences to beat up the kid. So that's basically the video. Can't play the music, guys. So he's over here, he's like, this kid's really good. And then Jay Flo dismantles the kid. Thanks, Jay Flo. Very helpful for the kid's confidence there. Yeah, Jay Flo, man, Jay Flo. I wish we had a modern day Jay Flo in jiu-jitsu. Like, a young Jay Flo would have been amazing. That's what I'm telling you guys to cross train, man.
Once before, and I got to that body lock where I'm really good at, and he had a really good feel from there, so it was kind of hard to finish, and he felt strong there. Normally I'm able to kind of pick guys up and finish, but for him, he has that different feel. Even when I had his leg, those splits it's something that's hard to mimic when you're training, so it's definitely a different feel once you get there. But on that second shot, once he was in a split again, and he kind of started going whizzer a little bit, so I kind of felt him trying to trap my arm. And I knew I needed to get his foot off the mat because if I'm leaving his foot down, it's going to be impossible to score on him. So keeping that foot in the air and clearing this arm. So I kind of lifted this leg up and tried to clear my shoulder like limp arm. And I got my arm out and I brought his foot up at the same time, which kind of made him fall backwards. And I kind of just caught him on his back and got the fall.
And then everyone saw the moment you get the pin, the look on your face, PJ,
was classic. Just like,
Yeah.
did I really just do that?
I got into that.
Yeah, so that's PJ Duke talking about pinning Yanni. These high schoolers tough. Jason says NCAAs will be more exciting. The atmosphere is not even more comparable. The only downside is I compete at Pans. I don't compete at NCAAs, so that's the only downside, bro. I wanna go check it out, but I need to get my tournaments in too. Can't just be a spectator. Here's PJ Duke again.
Is PJ Duke, if he can get his hips in. Oh, now what's slowly. And look at him keep a hold of the leg, and that's nice. For Yanni, this same position, he's able to lift, but that's going to be PJ Duke. Headlock here for PJ Duke. Can he run behind? Yes, he can. 4! 5-point lead now. 2 more. If you're Yanni, team spot on the line.
It's wild. Yanni was up. The thing is, with those, those big throws,
Team side on that single leg. Trying to beat the Wizard. That's going to be 2 at least. Looking for the fall. Yanni's got to fight off his back. Big trouble here for Yanni Takamahalis. He's got the head. Fall. Confirmed. PJ Duke onto the world team. Oh.
The thing is, those big high amplitude throws and those moves, they score. So like anytime he gets lifted up, that's like like 4, like Jesus. Every time his legs come off the mat, so very very similar to like how Kyle Dake wrestles. So the issue with that is that it's people start to counter that stuff eventually. So they don't. I don't think they have that in folk style, but in freestyle, if you do a big throw, you're gonna get rewarded. So you guys, if you do any folk style, you want to look at some folk style. That's why the scoring went like that. All those high amplitude moves. So you guys know we talk about Handsome Tuesday, but I got that from Nick Soriano.
Handsome Tuesday. Grateful. It was great to connect with all of you at Final X. Congratulations. I'm here in the backyard where I grew up in Paramus. Thank you for allowing me back. And I want to say a prayer.
All right, shout out to Nick. He's a little crazy, but you guys love him. We love him. He came up with Handsome Tuesday. I didn't come up with that. That's from him, guys. I got it from him. Handsome Tuesday. Handsome Tuesday.
Like, holy cow, I am so tired. Like, I remember just being so tired. I was only thinking about being tired. My body was just going and wrestling. Like, being tired and being like that helped me. Because, like, I wasn't thinking about any shots or anything. I was just going, and I was like, man, I'm tired. And my dad and Coach Jody are like, no, you're not. You're doing good. I was like, no, Coach, I'm tired. I need some water. During the break, I walk over.
So that's a good. I'm glad he shared that, because when you're competing, sometimes it's very mental. Sometimes you good, but you're tired. You feel a little sore. You feel weak. But you still need to go out there and duke it out. Okay. You can't always listen to your body. Sometimes your body's like, man, why are we out here? I felt that way at the tournament for like a little bit, and I heard a couple people saying that. But then once you're out there, you start moving around. You like, bro, you ready to go, and that's when you're gonna have your best performances, when you're ready to go out there, leave everything out there, just move, and just don't overthink anything. Just go out there and do your moves. That's all you need to do. And Jax, he a young kid. He don't get tired. Now Seth Gross, he a little bit older. He get tired. Talking about people that don't get tired, who's this girl? I can't play that music either. That's a meat. So she over there, she be doing too much. So I be watching these videos, and she said she has anemia, she can't wrestle. But bro, she be doing everything. You sure she can't wrestle? Are you sure? Look at her lifting the luggage, walking on the escalator. You telling me she couldn't wrestle? I don't know. I don't believe it, man. I don't buy it, man. Amit says the airport is also a gym, right? Been staying active between all my wrestling camps this summer. Yeah, but we want to see you wrestle. I don't care about your wrestling camps. I want to see you go out there and wrestle, girl. Got to do what you got to do sometimes, champion. Wait till security tells you to stop walking up the escalator. Yeah, somebody get this girl off the escalator. Talking about girls in wrestling, we got a girl getting her ear drained.
Oh! And suck it, right? Okay. Don't cry. Okay, I have to pinch it. Sorry. Okay, how do you even pop this needle off?
Okay, that's
boom,
not
boom,
good.
bop, 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 bop. Okay.
Don't let this person near your ear. That needle's too big.
This is so thick.
Oh my god, I'm scared tonight.
Wait, I don't remember. Look, did he do it this way?
Yeah.
Or this way? Or did like
Tanaya?
Which way?
Oh my god. I don't know. I know, Berg. Just Tanaya, focus. Please. You're scaring me. I'm so sorry. Are you gonna say 1, 2, 3 or are you just gonna go like mix?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
To do it there?
No, you just gotta suck that bitch out. I would go wherever you think.
Okay, I'm just gonna go right here. 1, 2, 3.
Oh! Oh my gosh!
Needle's too big.
Ow!
Needle's too big.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I don't know how to pull it.
Oh my gosh.
Stop moving. Stop.
That's too big. That needle's too big.
Wait, stop. Wait, let me figure this out. Oh my god.
How's this video so long?
Before you entered it, I peed down my leg. I'm not kidding.
Stop. Don't move.
How's this video so long?
Oh, there we go.
Oh my god. Ow.
So that's what's in that cauliflower ear, guys.
Ow.
Grossness.
Peed my pants.
You what?
I peed. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god. Why is that?
Oh, stop. So that's scary.
Alrighty, so yeah, these girls are pretty wild out here. If you guys want a jiu-jitsu girl, that's what you're gonna have to expect. I heard. I don't know. I'm into volleyball girls. I like volleyball girls. They don't get cauliflower in volleyball. Moving on, we got the Mendez bros. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Guy Mendez. He can send Tynan after me. As a coach, I like him as an athlete. I like Guy Mendez as an athlete. I don't like him as a coach though. So the Mendez bros said they have a post. It says, how can parents help their children become better? They should know this. They got a ton of kids. I have been working with children in high-level training for a long time, and to this day, the best results I have seen were when there was trust and connection between student and teacher. We can clearly see this in sports. Every parent wants the best for their child, and after I had my own children, I began to understand this in a more real and direct way. It's important that we as parents be wise when choosing the people to form a team capable of training our children for life. Training your kids for life? Only AOJ is the only place where they're going to train your kid for life. Other sports, they can hand you off. Okay, we're going to hand you off to the middle school coach. We're going to hand you off to the high school coach. We're going to hand you off to the college coach. We're going to hand you off to the pro coach. Very rarely is it the same person. You know, we might see this a little bit in like tennis or golf. I think those are only sports. You're not really going to see the coach stick with maybe boxing. But you usually don't see the same coach with the kid. Eventually, you got to find better coaches. But in jiu-jitsu, it's I guess there is no better coaching, really, than AOJ. But you know what? I'll be honest. You can get good at AOJ, but you're not going to get that individual attention. So it might be better for some of these guys to go to smaller programs eventually once, you know, when there's like 5 people in your division and it's like, all right, you can stay at AOJ and you just another dude, or you go to a different school, you could be the top guy and get a little bit more attention. So that's up for the athletes to figure out. Says the professionals, selecting the academy and the professionals who will guide your child. This sounds like a marketing thing. and help them on this journey is the most important step you will take. This is your main part as a parent in your child's career. Child's career? What is he talking about? Child's career? It's a hobby. It's a hobby. These kids ain't got no career. Now, they might be taking it really seriously, but it's not a career. It's still a hobby. It should be a hobby. I'm interested to see how many of the Mendez kids keep training when they get older. You know, they're still kind of little, so they just train. But I figure a lot of these kids ain't going to want to do jiu-jitsu no more. You know, I be watching those AOJ videos. There's always some kids in there that don't want to be there. You know, when they show the big class, like, oh, we got 500 kids in class. Bro, I be looking at the kids over there, the kids in the corner, they don't want to be there. They don't care about Hoffa Mendez, Guy Mendez, Tynan. They don't care. They want to go play Roblox in Minecraft. They don't care. They don't want to be there. I can tell you they already messing up when they start talking about your child's career. What are you talking about, Guy Mendez? Get out of here, bro. I want to like Guy Mendez, but he says and does things where I'm like, man, get out of here, bro. If this mission has been successfully accomplished, the next step is to give space for the work to be done. Your opinion on everything, your attempt to show that you understand more than the teacher discredits the teacher. I hope nobody's doing that to AOJ. Can you imagine someone going to AOJ and trying to tell them what to do? I mean, they're good. They got good results. You know, they get results. I don't like their approach on a lot of different things. I don't like Guy Mendez, his take on a lot of different things. But the results show. You know, if you want to become a world champion, go train with Guy Mendez. I don't think I can make you a world champion. I can make you okay, but I don't have a track record of making you a world champion. And I don't have the resources. They got unlimited resources basically for these guys. If you were my athlete, we'll be struggling streaming together, trying to raise funds to go to world championship and pants. So yeah, he says more. Your attempt to show that you understand more than the teacher discredits the teacher in front. Sounds personal. Discredit the teacher in front of your child and causes a silent confrontation where the child becomes dependent on your approval, even for things that you have no idea how to do. This is an issue when you get the rich people and their kids. Sometimes rich people are hands off. Sometimes rich people think they know everything. So I'm sure the rich people there's richer people than the Mendez bros, obviously, but they might be telling Hoffa and Guy what to do. And they're paying a lot of money. Hoffa and Guy might need to just shut up and take the money. I have trained several champions in all belts. I have the ability to train my own children into champions, but from my own experience, I decided to lead by example in my own academy. It is a team effort it is a team effort and not a competition of who knows more. Where the most important thing is to see my children growing and evolving as human beings, creating bonds with people that I believe are good influences in their lives, making friendships that will last a lifetime, and experiencing everything that life has to offer. I am not my son's instructor. I chose a qualified instructor that I trust, and now I just watch the process, playing my role as a father and giving support, asking how he's feeling, celebrating moments of success, and comforting him in the moments of difficulty, but never trying to show that I understand more or going against what the professor chooses as the route on his journey. So I like that. Because I believe when it's your kid, you can't be impartial. So sometimes you can't be as hard on your kid as you need to be. So it's better to send them off to another coach. And I'll be honest, usually it's very rare for the kids to outdo the parents. You know, I'm thinking like Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant. Their parents were okay. They were good basketball players, but they weren't great basketball players. So it's like their kids had a chip on their shoulder, to prove that what their father said worked. But in other case, when the dad's really good, your Michael Jordans, your LeBrons, usually it's really hard for the kids to live up to that, So these guys got to be okay with their kids finding a different route in life. They don't. I think jiu-jitsu can be important, but if they want to do something else, I think their parents need to let them do other stuff too. So he's letting his son train with Tynan. Wow. But yeah, you tell Tynan what to do. Come on, man. Guy, get out of here, Guy. I know you guys like Guy Mendez. He's a good coach. I didn't say he was a good coach. I said I don't like a lot of the things he says and does, but it works. I mean, is it sustainable? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to know. I don't want to train with those guys. You guys go over there and let me know. So this is Mikey, UFC BJJ. So I think the main event's going to happen on June 25th, what's that, next week? They've been releasing all the episodes like every day. It's kind of hard to keep up. It's overload. Don't they know people got stuff to do? And the 25th is a Wednesday, so does that sound like UFC BJJ really cares about the event if they put it on a Wednesday night? When does the UFC put, you think the UFC cares about the UFC BJJ if they put it on a Wednesday night? I mean, I would take a Thursday night over a Wednesday night. Maybe Wednesday night works. Maybe it works, I don't know. To me, it doesn't sound like you're not getting prime time, though. You're not getting a Friday or Saturday or even a Thursday. So I see that as, they're just pushing it off to a lesser day. It is what it is, man. Some of you guys are going to defend the UFC. I'm never going to defend UFC. I don't like the UFC. I don't care about the UFC. I like the fighters. I'm a fan of the fighters. I'm not a fan of the UFC. I want them to pay their fighters and get them like some better health care, health insurance, better mental health care, all this stuff. And they don't care, man. They just use these people up. Use these people up and throw them away. Look at guys like BJ Penn and some of these other dudes that need help. UFC ain't nowhere to be found. There ain't no pension. There's no union. There's no protection for these guys. All those UFC fighters need a therapist. They need a therapist. Mikey says UFC BJJ number 1, June 25th, 7 days until I compete to become the first UFC BJJ champion ever. The thing is, Mikey's fighting a guy that he's never done no-gi. Why is Mikey fighting a dude that's never done no-gi before? In fact, Harrison, he might not have made it to the show. He maybe, I don't think he could have been a competitor on the show. He wouldn't make the cutoff for the show. And he's going to fight Mikey. No, he got 0 no-gi matches, guys. He's never done no-gi before. It's just, what's going on? We ain't going to use that talk over here, bro. Another day, we ain't using that talk over here. I don't know what Dana White's religion is. I don't like him. I don't care what his religion. No religion. I don't care what his religion would be. It wouldn't help me like him. Maybe if he was a Rastafari, maybe. He ain't got no hair though. You ever seen a bald Rastafari? I don't know. So anyway, this is a mess. This is a mess, man. This whole show been a mess. And some people said, "Why are you picking at it?" I'm trying to warn these guys. I'm trying to warn these guys not to do this stuff. Craig Jones trying to warn these guys not to do this stuff. Some of you guys see the little paycheck right there, and you're like, man, you should just sell your soul for that $10,000. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Knowing full well UFC could cut this whole thing tomorrow. UFC might cut off this whole sport. They might cut this whole thing off. Listen, guys, Dana's said we're not going to do it in 2026. Mikey's out the job. None of these guys, they signed that contract. That contract might be up. That contract might not mean nothing if UFC BJJ goes under. I mean, look at Slap Fight. You think Slap Fight's doing well? You think Slap Fight was a good idea? Well, Dana White's the guy that brought us Slap Fight. He brought us the worst sport in history. He could have figured anything. He could have figured out anything else other than Slap Fight. I don't trust anybody that would create Slap Fight. I don't trust any of these guys. Mike Columbus says, I'm loving the show so far. It's so good. He's got to say that. He a fanboy. Gilbert Burns, let's go. Bro, where can we watch this? You got to watch it on Fight Pass. I for sure ain't watching on Fight Pass. For now, the 3 episodes are on YouTube. Listen, the main event ain't going to be on YouTube, and the rest of the show ain't going to be on YouTube. Do you think all these broke people want to go to Fight Pass and watch this? They might. I'm not. Pretty sure it'll only be on UFC Fight Pass. That's a terrible way to market. Yep. Great for marketing, Mikey. You gotta reach everybody. I was looking forward to watching it on YouTube. Fight Pass. The legend continues. Let's go, Mikey. Oh man, who do you got? I mean, this dude ain't never done no-gi before. He can't win. How is he gonna win? Is there going to be a crowd? I can't watch grappling with empty noises in the background. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't see this doing well. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just a hater. But it's okay to hate on UFC because, man, their track record is terrible. They got a terrible track record. What happened with this video? Oh, there we go. Who's that guy? Who's that guy right there? You guys remember that guy? You guys remember that guy? I can't play the music, guys. But do you remember that dude? Who's that dude? My man still don't know how to use the gi. And how come the other dude ain't grabbed the gi at all? He couldn't make a grip at all. So that's J-Rod. He's over there. I don't know what he's doing, bro. He's finding Jesus and he's putting on the gi. Yeah, if you're trying to find Jesus, don't do no gi. You got to put the gi on. So it's nice to see you training in gi. Tynan says, look at that pressure. Look at that passing. Wonder where he got it from. I mean, you guys all kids to me. Please join AOJ. He will fit in it. Yeah, go to AOJ. I mean, I don't know if they can have him at AOJ because it's all kids and girls. You can't have J-Rod over there gooning. Man, I wonder what super relevant gi jiu-jitsu champ you train with. It says, my guy is back training. You love to see it. Glad you're healing, man. Let's move forward to better things. If you come to France, I can host you at my gym. We have 1,000 square feet matted area. That ain't nothing. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. I sentence you to 6 months in the gi, Craig, probably. AOJ style passing. Listen, that passing style been around before AOJ, guys. I guess I'm old because I'm like, that style of passing been around for a long time. Just watch Ted today. Jay in the gi hits different. Passing made me spill some milk. Jay, my rod to this guard pass. Great to see you back. The gi just hits different. We need you on YouTube, J-Rod in a gi. So you might be trying to make a comeback. We'll see. I don't know. Jiu-jitsu people, you guys forgive people. They put the gi on. You guys forgive them. Speaking about no gi, we got David Carr, man. He looked good out there. was good, man. That wrestling's good, man. You know, wrestling. As much as I like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, I think is a better. I would say they're a better group of people, but you got Kyle Snyder over there, pants down, single it out. I think the culture in wrestling. I want it to be better. We did talk about the Ohio State though. We talked about Ohio State, Michigan. Was it Michigan? We talked about Penn State. I mean, wrestling got a dark side too. Judo got a dark side, but I think, you know, people in wrestling really love the sport. You know, there's events like, you know, RAF, Real American Freestyle, and Claw. They're trying to grow the sport too, but I think at its essence, wrestling is exciting. You know, freestyle wrestling in particular is really exciting. You don't really need to do much. I think you just need to showcase it more. Because I think people like athletes like Jordan Burroughs, they were super marketable, you know. Like jiu-jitsu doesn't have a Jordan Burroughs. We don't have people that can hold themselves with an air of dignity and will represent brands really well. You know, even guys like Gordon Ryan, he's not going to represent the brand really well. His image is pretty trash a little bit. You know, to me, it's trash. Maybe you guys like his image. Craig Jones, you know, he's kind of a niche figure. I'm trying to think who. Mikey's too autistic. The Tackets are kind of, you know, they're okay. They kind of, you know, they homeschooled. We don't have, even wrestling doesn't have another JB. Or even a David Taylor or Kyle Dake. I mean, they got Starachis and Aaron Brooks, though. So, I think Jordan Burroughs is just a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, you know. But we don't really have that in jiu-jitsu. Like, who would be a great face of the sport, you know, that could represent the sport on the mainstream? I don't think there is anybody that could do that. It's not me. I'm too jaded. But anyway, shout out to David Carr. I believe his father, Nate Carr, won the Olympic golds before. So David Carr surprised a lot of fans by sweeping Mitchell Messenbrink. I mean, yeah, there's some issues in wrestling too. You know, your Carter Starachis, your Kyle Snyders, so on and so forth. But everybody else, they just wrestling, bro. They ain't talking crap. They ain't doing nothing but wrestle. Jiu-jitsu people, we gotta talk. We be talking stuff. I don't get why people are so surprised. Car Champ has avenged losses on the biggest stage consistently throughout his career. Yeah, he had a really good match at the Night of Wrestling. Says learn and improve from losses more than wins. Hey, yo, Big Tom. Or Todd Margalis, that's a different guy actually. Says very few gave Carr a chance to win. Messenbrink's really good, that's why. You know, everybody's human though. Carr loses, it's Messenbrink who wrestled well. Messenbrink loses, hey, something off about Messenbrink. Yeah, my man Carr got to work a little bit harder than the other guys, but that's normal. Carr hasn't peaked yet. He's still developing. This guy is USA future. He's going to win some world titles and Olympic medals before it's done. You heard it here first. Messenbrink didn't look himself, but Carr has always showed the ability to win if he doesn't run out of gas. So, man, you know, the future of wrestling looking bright. You know, they don't need crazy organizations to push wrestling, you know. I mean, wrestling is an Olympic sport. It's a collegiate sport. It's got a lot going for it. Things that jiu-jitsu doesn't have. Like, we're trying to become a collegiate club sport, but we're not a real collegiate sport. We're never going to be in the Olympics. But we do have our professional events. So, like, you know, events like CJI is actually pulling in a lot of wrestlers. They might get some Sambo people, you know, some Russian dudes. You know, I think CJI is doing a good job. AIGA seems to be doing a good job of pulling different talent. IBJF, not really pulling in talent. I will say World Pro, Abu Dhabi, they pull in some international people too. And then now we got the USA Grappling, which is, becoming more legitimate. So there's more avenues for us. So it says, can Mika Galvao defeat Pedro Moreno? Yes, he can. Come on. What's the question, bro? And capture his third Who's Number One title. We want to see him versus Tynan. After defeating Jonatas Gracie and claiming his second Who's Number One belt, Mika Galvao made it clear he's all about challenges, and now he's after a third. Pedro Moreno, current 205 champion, holds the title Mika is aiming for. We looked into Mika's recent wins at Who's Number One, Jonatas Gracie, Tackett, Oliver Taza, William Tackett, Jacob Couch, Dante Leon, Jay Rodriguez, PJ Barch, Alan Sanchez, and Kenta Iwamoto. A potential super fight between the two would shake Who's Number One stage. So we want to see him versus Tynan. I don't know how many times I got to keep saying this. Mika's beat all these guys. That's a lot of dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 dudes. Dang, Mika, where's Cade at? Put Cade on there. Put Ty on there. Put Tynan on there. Put Cole on there. They got some more matchups to make. Let's do the rematch with Big Breakfast, Elijah Dorsey. Let's do the rematch with what's the one guy? PJ Barch. I mean, let's do the rematch with the Tackett Bros. Put both Tackett Bros against them. So there's a lot of good matches that they need to do, man. I don't know. They never make them. I'm not gonna skip that. That's Vion. Does it have music?
Was the highlight.
Can't play that. We got Gable Stevenson, another wrestler. He's looking to work his hands. If you guys don't know, Gable Stevenson, Olympic gold medalist from 2021. He the big guy that does the backflips, right? Are we still up? They don't like you playing that Olympics. But yeah, Gable came back. It doesn't look impressive when we're watching it. Hopefully they don't hit me with the copyright. YouTube love to hit me with something. Dang it, hit the wrong button. Yeah, YouTube love to hit me, but the thing with Gable Stevenson is he's huge. Like, you guys don't realize how big he is. He doesn't look big right there, I mean, with Craig Jones, he don't look big. But for his size and weight, he don't got his pick when he's doing his backflip. Yeah, it's just for his size and his movement, man. It's not possible, man. It doesn't make sense. Yo, Gable, you need to put you doing a cartwheel. You need to tag that up there, bro. So anyway, he looks like he's doing some getting his hands ready. He might just be okay. He don't look that good, but it's better than what it used to be. Gable, he be hanging out with a homeboy, not my homeboy, John Jones. Yeah, he be hanging out with John Jones, so not the best influence. Not the best influence. And then, of course, you guys know he's going to be on CJI. He's been doing a lot of stuff. He won the Olympics. Of course, he's got an NCAA title. He didn't win this year, but I think he's won before. He's also going to be on CJI. He also did WWE. He's also tried out for NFL, National Football League. So yeah, he's been doing a lot. I think he's still young, so he's kind of finding himself. That's him with Marab. He just finding himself. I do want to see him get back to international wrestling, though. Stop fooling around, bro. Get back to international wrestling. Get another gold medal for Team USA. Again, we talked about the Asian Championship that's coming up. If you guys are in China, about to say China. If you guys are in Japan, go check it out. Got another post. I've been talking crap on the UFC, but it's not just me, guys.
And I think that they lost a lot of people by, throwing exclusive contracts in.
I know Craig is kind of going a little head to head with the UFC.
Yeah, I've definitely been way more involved in the drama stuff this year. See, reality show, I was going to be on it, but then when they threw out the exclusive contract, it was like, just didn't make sense anymore. And I think that they lost a lot of people by, throwing exclusive contracts. CJI is offering like the most money. So it's and the biggest stage and like such a unique experience. Video I saw where Craig called like CGI like a Super Bowl type event, and I think that's kind of exactly what it is. It's a Super Bowl. It's like you don't want to miss the Super Bowl because you're not allowed to compete in it. For me, it was like I think I focus on training mostly, but I'm always thinking about like what is the best opportunity that I can get for myself.
Is because of those exclusive contracts that they were just offering to everyone. That kind of surprises me that they would offer exclusive contracts to everyone, because I feel like that would be really expensive.
Yeah, so from my understanding, it's an exclusive contract if you win the show. So like I could have gone to the show and like purposely lost and I would have been okay, but that just felt like weird signing up to do a competition that my objective was to like not win, and I think that they lost a lot of people by.
So that's a pretty interesting kind of update. So he said, Wojcik said that it's an exclusive contract if you win. So I'm assuming the coaches have exclusive contracts, and then the final winners of the show, 25th of June, they're going to have the exclusive contract. Shout out to Alex. She says, 2 point of views. Win UFC BJJ and lose your freedom to options in the sport right as Jiu-Jitsu enters its most transformative era. So what are the tactics going to do? Say they win the show. Andrew wins the show. He's on that exclusive contract. He can't do the next CJI 3 for $1 million. Is he going to feel a little dumb? Is he going to be happy with that $10,000 or that $1 million? Just having the chance to make that money, which he did. He had that chance to make that money. I feel like he's kind of limiting his potential being with the UFC. That money's good for now. That little bit of money is good for now. But as you get older, it ain't going to change your life. It's going to make you comfortable, comfortable enough to not rock the boat. It ain't going to change your life. You won't be able to retire. You won't be able to buy no property with that $10,000. She also says, win UFC BJJ and earn exclusivity with the pinnacle of the sport, known for treating their fighters fairly. Well, that ain't true. You decide what is more fitting for your journey. It says key details we discussed on the recent episode were how many fighters were offered this contract and turned it down. So far, we can confirm 2 athletes from B Team got the offer. UFC BJJ has been decently entertaining so far, but would it have been even better if Chris and Ethan could have brought even more excitement to the lightweight and the welterweight division? So they don't care, and they got Mikey over here. Why is Mikey in everybody's DMs? He in everybody's comment section. I don't think this is a good move on Mikey's part. He should, because he's not a PR person, and he's emotional. Mikey's emotional. He can't handle pushback. Anytime someone pushes back against Mikey, he's got to jump in the comments. And, sometimes I feel that way too. I want to defend myself, but, you can't fight a million battles, Sometimes you got to ignore these people and keep living your life. Mikey says, it's just so confusing to me. Why would a big company like the UFC invest so much money into athletes and events, market, and build up characters to a different audience outside of our smaller segment, to just let them compete in events out of the UFC with competitor organizations to help those other athletes build their names? Does that logically make sense for UFC to do? I get what Mikey's saying, but the thing with Mikey is this market's going to stay small. It's going to stay small. That money they give you is not going to grow. And they're going to be predatory. Who's more predatory? UFC with Dana White as the CEO and head, and all those other dudes that, we can't name, or is Craig Jones Invitational. Craig Jones, he always going to be pushing for you. He's pushing for all the athletes. But in the UFC, maybe Dana White's pushing Mikey, but he's not pushing other athletes. Mikey's making more money than all those guys put together, probably, at the UFC BJJ. And he ain't got no power. Craig Jones, you can at least talk to Craig, plead your case. You might be able to sway Craig Jones's decisions. You ain't swaying Dana White. You got no power over Dana White. You beneath Dana White forever. But Craig Jones is your peer. I think it's better to work with your peers than to work under someone like Dana White, who's known for taking advantage of fighters, not paying them well, predatory contracts, basically abuse. As far as I know, Craig Jones ain't ever slapped his wife. He ain't got no wife. Dana White over there slapping his wife in public. You guys thought we forgot about that? Can we play that video? Let's find that video real fast. God dang it, YouTube. Get out of here with this crap. We're gonna go back to Mikey. Mikey, I ain't defending no woman beater. Mikey, I ain't defending no woman beater.
Uncensored, a volatile New Year's Eve for UFC President Dana White. He and his wife were spotted slapping each other. Now, the incident was caught on camera in a New Year's Eve nightclub in Cabo, Mexico. No word on what happened.
She did hit him first. She did hit him
White
first.
has since apologized, saying there are no excuses for putting your hands on his wife. Now, the video has many people wondering if mutual combat can exist between couples.
But man, let that be me. I mean, I for sure ain't touching no girl, and for sure ain't touching no white girls. That I would still be in jail. I ain't John Jones. They would have locked me up, bro. They would have locked me. There would be no live stream. So yeah, I'm not gonna defend Dana White, bro. I'm not saying he was in the wrong. I'm just saying I ain't defending him. He did that in public. I'm not saying, well, I'm a gentleman, so I never had a girl slap me. I would, listen. You thinking like a regular dude. You thinking you're a regular dude. Okay, the girl hit you. You hit her back. All right. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but you guys could do that. But in my head, I'll be thinking, oh, I'm Dana White. I'm in charge of a multi-billion-dollar organization. Shoot, I better keep my hands. My hands better be down. My hands better be down and out of sight. I ain't touching nobody. I ain't breathing on nobody. If I'm a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar organization. I have several independent contractors under me. You got Mike. You're not an employee. You're an independent contractor. I got several people reporting to me. I'm a public figure. I'm out in public. I'm out celebrating. I'm not gonna touch anybody. I'm not gonna, bro. What? If anything, where's my security at? Security. Get my wife off of me. And this is who Mikey wants to align himself with. I mean, yeah. What was Mikey saying? Sorry, bud. Okay, can't read that. I understand. Alex says, I understand your point of view. If BJJ was the point of MMA, exclusivity makes sense. They have fight night events every weekend and plenty of opportunity, even though MMA fighters only want to fight 4 times a year max. Jiu-jitsu grapplers are different. They could compete every weekend if they wanted to, and I believe are more entertaining and sharp when they get to do so. Will the UFC be able to provide the number of matches and opportunities that balance off the myriad of different opportunities the outside jiu-jitsu world has to offer when MMA is the priority and not BJJ? We shall see. I hope so. I think these are details grapplers of various levels and status need to consider. How far does the exclusivity go? Can you still do IBJJF, ADCC, or are you locked in solely to the UFC? Well, you join the UFC, you ain't leaving UFC. You belong to Daddy Dana. Let's see. This ain't it, Chief. Where's Mikey at? This is not a troll comment. If I hear your point, but my rebuttal is if the UFC lets these athletes go out to competitor platforms and let them shine. I mean, the same platforms that built up the competitors. The same platforms that built up Tackett and built up. Well, Mikey already built himself up. You know, most of those other guys got built up through those other events. Those Who's Number Ones, those EBIs, those CJIs, those Kansais. If an athlete on UFC BJJ was to go onto CJI or ADCC, they'll be able to draw themselves more fans and eyes, and those will follow them to wherever platform they go. Instead of keeping an athlete for yourself, if you let them be free, that athlete will bring eyes and money to whatever platform they go to. Everyone would benefit. The best argument I do see and understand, though, is if, let's say, UFC BJJ had things pre-planned and booked for an athlete and paid for it, then I don't care about that. Mikey's getting paid by the UFC. He's going to say whatever they want him to say. He said whatever Chowdhury wanted him to say. Mikey's not going to push back. He's fighting for himself. He's fighting maybe for a few of his friends, you know, guys like Isaac and some of the other dudes. I mean, Mikey, he's just a man. He's just a boy. He's a man boy. He's looking out for himself. You know, the UFC is the best thing for him right now. But Mikey's got to realize the UFC might be good for him, but it's not necessarily the best thing for the sport. And I don't know if Mikey sees that. I think Mikey sees that whatever is best for him is best for the sport. And you know, Mikey, he's not the most socially adjusted person. So, I mean, I don't know why we're putting so much pressure on Mikey. I don't know why we're following Mikey, to be honest. He didn't get the good autism. He didn't get the good Mikey. Mikey didn't get the good autism. So, if the UFC were really as invested as you claim, why would they see those small grappling shows as competition? Well, UFC doesn't care. They do the same cookie cutter formula, same cookie cutter tough format, same cookie cutter business practices. You know, they're very controlling. They want to be the number one. I mean, that makes them a monopoly. So they want to be in charge. They want to control your ability to make money. That's why a guy like Craig Jones wouldn't do well in the UFC. He's got too much power. He's got too much. He can fund himself. He don't need the UFC. He can make $1 million himself. If anything, the UFC limits him. Dana White would limit him. Claudia would limit him. Mikey would ruin the brand image. Mikey would tarnish the brand image of Craig Jones. You're right. Siding with the monopoly that historically underpays its athletes is clearly the move. Very insightful and thoughtful, Mr. Muzumechi. Again, Mikey's wallet. Mikey making money, man. He gonna say and do whatever he needs to say and do. And you know, a lot of the most successful people I know, that's how they are. They don't care if they gotta lay people off or cut your pension, and cut your factory job, cut whatever. They'll cut whatever they need to cut from you to make sure they get their bonus at the year end. And that's just how some of these people are. And you know, when you call them out on it, they super guarded. And that's how some people are, you know. So Mikey's not even in the comments no more. Here's PJ Barch. He says, Mikey, I get what you're saying, but can't you frame this as the athletes are building Let me reread that. I want to make sure I say everything right from PJ Barch. Mikey, I get what you're saying, but can't you reframe this as the athletes are building the UFC BJJ and not UFC BJJ is building the athletes? I mean, UFC didn't build any of those athletes. UFC BJJ is a new organization. They didn't build nobody. CJI, IBJJF, ADCC, Naga, New Breed, all those, who's number one? All those things built these people up. Not the UFC, Mikey. Yeah, get him, PJ Barch. Get him. UFC didn't build nobody. Dana White didn't build nobody. Who did Dana White build? And why does Dana White get all the money? I mean, other people get more of the money, but you guys get what I'm saying. So the athletes built UFC BJJ. They ain't got no say or power. Mikey not on the side of everybody else. Mikey's on his own side. He's gonna do whatever. I mean, look at Mikey. He jumps teams every day. Every week he jumps to a new team. Mikey can't build. Mikey don't know how to build. Craig Jones can build. Craig Jones, he built CJI. I mean, obviously he's got help. Mikey could have done the same thing. But Mikey's not a builder. He's a I don't want to say he's a drone, but he's a company man. He reminds me of Cormier, Daniel Cormier. He a company man. He gonna go who's ever paying Mikey. It was Chattery. Now it's Daddy Dana. He gonna jump. Same thing with the teams. He gonna jump teams. He gonna go wherever is more opportune for him. But the thing with that is that Mikey, he didn't build those relationships. He burned those relationships down, I believe. He can't really go train at AOJ like he used to. Can't train with Kyle Terry like he used to. Can't train with. Maybe he can still go to Daisy Fresh, but he kind of ditched those guys. I want to see him ditch Cobrinha. You think you're gonna ditch Cobrinha? Good luck, Mikey. Cobrinha might come for you, bro. Pause on that. He might come after you. Pause on that too. So PJ Barch, we'll get back to him. He says the athletes are building UFC BJJ and not the UFC BJJ building the athletes. And then maybe there might be a bit of a paradigm shift. I love to have the UFC so involved, and their show so far is great. But at the end of the day, I also think it's important to keep power in the hands of athletes. Dana White, I never seen Dana White grapple. I don't want to hear Dana White tell me what to do when it comes to grappling. He ain't grappled a single day in his life. He can't even do it. He ain't got no guard, ain't got no passing, ain't got no submissions. I don't want to hear Daddy Dana tell me anything about jiu-jitsu. I don't want to hear Claudia tell me nothing about jiu-jitsu. Now, Craig Jones, I respect Craig Jones. I respect his jiu-jitsu. I respect Mikey's jiu-jitsu. I respect Harrison's jiu-jitsu. I would listen to those people, but I'm not going to listen to Dana White. You don't know. Get out of here, Dana White. Getting riled up, guys. Sorry. So yeah, PJ Barch says it's important to keep the power in the hands of the athletes, and that only happens when there is competition and choice. So you got no power. Mikey already said he ain't got no power in the UFC BJJ. He the main figurehead. He's got no power. He's got no pull. He's got no say so. He's got no control. He's just going along with whatever they say. He's letting Claudia make all these bad decisions for the event. Mikey should have told her, hey, you can't get this Harrison kid. We need Gio Martinez. We need Gio Martinez. We need Junie. We need Craig. We need somebody. Like he should have stuck to his guns. All right, we can't get these people. Let's not do the show. Why did Mikey do the show if he didn't do it in with the hope of doing the best show possible? It's not the best show. It's not the best show possible. The athletes are good. They got a couple athletes on there that shouldn't be on there. And the coach shouldn't be on there. He didn't set it up for it to be successful. He did not set it up. Mikey did not help the UFC BJJ get set up to be successful. He let them do whatever they wanted to do, and they created a lesser product. UFC is a major organization. It's nowhere near as good as CJI. What was better, CJI or UFC BJJ? I mean, UFC, we'll come back to it on the 25th of June, but just be honest. What was better, UFC, BJJ, or CJI? I think it's going to be easy to figure that one out. Are they known for treating fighters fairly? UFC? Heck no. I don't know what Mikey don't do research, bro. The UFC, no, they underpay their fighters. Exactly. That's why I'm nervous about UFC taking an interest in BJJ. BJJ is doomed. I adore Gianni Grippo, but a part of me wants him to lose so that he doesn't get an exclusive deal. We trying to save jiu-jitsu. It's bad when your fans don't want you to win. Where's Mikey at? Mikey, come back. The UFC is absolutely atrocious. It's to its contractors. Mikey acting like an employee, but he's an independent contractor. They could let Mikey go. I guess he's got a contract. He might be an employee, but for now, I think he's an independent contractor. They can let him go like this. See you, Mikey. Show didn't work out. We're done with BJJ. We're gonna focus on slap fight. So it says UFC is absolutely atrocious, hiding behind non-employee status whenever it helps them avoid providing any benefits they don't want to offer, yet locking them down in contracts loaded with clauses and restrictions no independent contractor should be subjected to. But the big money promotions don't care about promoting women or giving them any more than the bare minimum that keeps people from yelling at them. So hard to blame any woman that asks themselves what big doors they actually closing by taking one, and if declining a UFC shot isn't just passing up on the best chance they'll get to stay open to organizations that clearly don't want women. I don't know about that part, but yeah, I don't expect the UFC to be fair to anybody, male or female or genderless. Treats their fighters fairly. UFC fighters make the lowest percentage of total revenue of all major sports. Let's go ahead and throw IBJJ up under that too. First of all, nobody thinks the UFC pays fairly. The fighters kiss the ring, but it's been widely accepted forever that the UFC fighters are underpaid. So Mikey wants you to be underpaid. That's how I'm understanding this. He wants you to. You might get $10,000 4 times. You might fight for $10,000 4 times. I mean, that $40,000. I mean, I actually could use that $40,000, but I mean, compared to CJI, it's not going to change your life. $40,000. Maybe if you live in Brazil, you go back to Brazil. You might be able to buy a car. I don't know if you can buy a car with $40,000 in Brazil. It's not gonna change your life, man. It's gonna make you comfortable for a little bit, but you gotta fight. You gotta stay. You're gonna kiss Daddy Dana's ring every day to get another contract or another match. Nobody ever said jiu-jitsu people were smart, and that's the downside to not getting education, being homeschooled. Some of these guys homeschooled. Some of these guys didn't go to school. So they don't know. Even Mikey, I don't know what Mikey's deal is, but even Mikey, I don't know. For being seen as smart as he is, I don't think. I question Mikey. Let me see your report card, Mikey. Let me see your. I wonder. Because Mikey's jumped teams so many times, I just wonder who's like on his side, who's in his corner. It's hard to build those relationships when you jump in teams all the time. You probably jump friends all the time too. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm coming after you today. What we got now? It says black belt fakery. 10 of the worst. I don't care about this, guys. I don't care about fake black belts. I don't care about these fake black belts. I mean, some of you guys fall for these fake black belts. I can't help you, bro. If you don't know that's fake. Let's move on. It says Brendan Schaub shares why he walked away from jiu-jitsu after rolling with Henner and Hiron Gracie. I would walk away too. Actually, Henner and Hiron, they're pretty good. But it's their students that suck. They made, when you're in the cult, you can't have other people in the cult outshine you. So they made sure their students would not be as good as them by focusing. Those guys used to compete. They used to fight like, in tournaments and stuff, but then they stopped. In a candid conversation, former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub revealed that his transition away from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wasn't just about competing. It was about the culture shift he experienced between different training environments. It took place when he rolled at Henner and Hiron Gracie's. I rolled with Henner and Hiron at the Torrance Academy, and then when I started rolling down where I'm at, it was like guys would go so hard. I just went like, hey, man, Dana White's not going to give you a contract if you tap me out. Dana White not going to give anybody a contract. He's going to give you the most predatory. I want to see Dana White's contracts he be giving out. That thing be terrible. He says, so you're not going to get a contract if you tap me out. Like, I'm literally just looking for work, man. So it was a fight. It was a fight. And eventually I was like, man, this just isn't what I want to do every day. Listen, Brendan Schaub, that's how life is for black belts and everybody else. You got to fight every day. It ain't no easy days. You ain't coming in just to have fun and roll. People coming after you. Yeah, they're coming after you to take your head off, bro. I don't know what else to say. He's soft, bro. The shift in atmosphere from the more relaxed and flowing roles at the Gracie Academy to intense competitive sparring left Schaub disillusioned. Why is he complaining about hard training? This is not where I thought the article was going. Man, this mother... They're going too hard. For someone who had already proven himself in MMA, the idea of treating every role like a fight didn't appeal anymore. That's how it is normally, bro. Schaub's jiu-jitsu story is complex. He earned a brown belt under Amal Easton in Colorado, but when he moved to Los Angeles, he trained at Gracie Academy. It created some confusion. In an earlier Fight Companion podcast, Schaub explained how he ended up wearing a white belt there, even though he was a brown belt elsewhere. I had no issue with it. I literally didn't care, but I would tell guys I'm not a white belt. Like, I'm not a white belt. I know what I'm doing, brother. When I moved from Colorado to Los Angeles, we trained mostly no gi. So when we rolled in the gi occasionally to mix up the training and sharpen my defense and escapes, I would wear a loner gi and a white belt that came with the gi since they didn't have a loner brown belt. Bro, why did they make this an article? Why did I read this? This is a waste of my life. Talking about Daddy Dana in the UFC, we got one of the athletes, Ferris. I can't say his last name. Opens up about payment disputes with Polaris. Polaris, pay my man, dude. Pay my man, Polaris. Pay him. I've been there too, man. There's been times where I didn't get paid, or when I'm still owed money. That's life. Ferris recently shed light on his ongoing issues. We'll zoom in for you guys so you can read too. He recently shed light on his ongoing issues with Polaris during an appearance on the Grappler Perspective podcast. The British grappler detailed his frustrations over what he perceives as unfair treatment by the UK-based promotion, culminating in a now viral protest during one of their events. Ferris drew attention after wearing a custom t-shirt featuring a crossed-out Polaris logo at a live event. The bold move wasn't just for shock value, though. They just kind of done me a bit dirty with payment and stuff. I can't read it in British accent, guys. The conflicts appear to stem from his match against Powell, where Ferris claims he was severely underpaid. Welcome to the UFC. You want to go to the UFC, Ferris? Go there. They're going to definitely underpay you. They paid me so badly, bruv, to fight, obviously, Powell. I negotiated, but then I was away with PJ and Owen Jones, and at the time, that's when they offered it to me. He also pointed out, I can't do the British accent right now, guys. He also pointed out that when he sees a double standard in how athletes are treated, Here is what he had to say about his opponent. I'm sure they're paying him more. They're probably paying for his flights, hotel, and paying him to fight. Feeling ignored and undervalued, Ferris sought a way to make his frustrations known without crossing any lines. I just thought what way I could get at these guys, and they can't really get at me for. But it's going to be funny and potentially viral. Speaking about Egan O'Flanagan previously, Ferris shared more about the deeper issues he has with the promotion. My biggest thing, I think there was a bit of favoritism. All these things got favoritism. I feel like there's been a lot of good talent in the UK that haven't been on the show. Some even have won the worlds at blue and brown and blue and purple. I mean, usually these shows are pretty dirty, man. These organizations. I think CJI's been pretty good. You know, I talk a lot of stuff on Craig Jones, but he's been pretty good. I think he's paid everybody fairly. Didn't he pay everybody $10,001 just to show up? I don't think, is UFC paying those guys to show up? How much they paying on the UFC BJJ show? How much they paying? And, you know, I'm going to be honest, sometimes that upfront payment might be better. But on the top end, you're limited by the UFC. UFC ain't going to pay you $1 million. They ain't going to pay Tackett $1 million. They ain't going to pay Mikey $1 million. They ain't going to pay Harrison $1 million. But CJI did. They did it 2 times. I mean, who do you want to who do you want to bet your future with? The organization that's constantly getting sued for underpaying and predatory contracts and all this other stuff, or CJI, or some other organization. Talking about UFC BJJ, we got athletes booked from blocked from sponsors on UFC BJJ. So if I was on the show, I couldn't wear my inverted gear. They wouldn't let me wear my inverted gear, guys. That would not work out. I can't wear my inverted gear. I can't be on the show. No inverted gear, no Alec. So it says Hayabusa only. So I believe Hayabusa was the sponsor for the show, so they had to wear the team gear, the Hayabusa gear. Remember when the UFC did this with MMA back in the day? For some athletes, it won't be a big day, but I imagine for others it will. I wonder if they're paying athletes additional Hayabusa sponsorship money. So I'm sure they're not giving you anything. You lucky to get the uniform. That's how Dana sees it. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. This is how it starts. The UFC has a bad record with allowing athletes to make money. Yeah, UFC doesn't want their athletes to make money. They took away the sponsorships. They've done everything in their power to take your ability to support yourself and speak out for yourself. And Mikey signs up right for it, bro. I just wonder who's talking to Mikey, or if he has anybody that he trusts to like give him advice. I hope his parents do, but I mean, you need other colleagues that are looking out for you, bro. I mean, it's not me. I'm not your colleague like that. I'm your jiu-jitsu colleague, but I'm not with you and helping you like that. For me, the most telling detail is that Venom passed on sponsoring this. So I believe Venom is the sponsor for the UFC, but they don't sponsor the UFC BJJ. So, what the heck is going on over here? Before the Venom deal was announced, it was rumored that Hayabusa was going to be the sponsor. What does that tell? Venom thinks there's no money in it. They're also one of the major OG MMA brands, so them not having not sponsoring says a lot. Says, don't worry, UFC will more than make up for the missing cash with their bonuses. I mean, yeah, good luck. I'm still confused as to why Andrew Tackett, one of the best Nogi grapplers in the sport right now, decided to go do this show. I think he wants to do MMA. So that's like a fast track possibly. Unless he's planning to transition to MMA at some point and wants to get some exposure and build a relationship with the UFC, I guess that would make sense. even if it turns out not to be a success, he's likely going to win it and be the UFC champion and gain some crossover audience. Getting, Tackett, I like Tackett, but he likes attention. A lot of these guys, they like attention. I mean, I wish I could go back to the days before social media. I didn't care about any of this stuff. I didn't post on social media before. I didn't post on YouTube. I wasn't live. We didn't have live stream back then. But if I can go back in the day when I could just focus on training, I didn't have to do all this crazy stuff. I didn't have to make content. I could just, hopefully do well at the tournament. That was all you had to do back in the day. But the new generation, they really want that attention. A lot guys like Tackett. Tackett's cool, but he really desires that attention. He wants to be that star. He wants to stand out. And I think that's what motivates him. For me, what motivates me is just getting better at the sport. I really, if I didn't have to do this stuff to promote myself, to let you guys see me and interact with me, I wouldn't do any of this stuff. It wasn't until I had to, 2017, 2016, I had to start doing this stuff because the climate of jiu-jitsu changed. It became more socially driven. So, putting out instructionals, putting out, videos on YouTube on how to play collar sleeve guard, or putting out, doing all this stuff. I didn't want it, bro. I never wanted to do this stuff. I don't care about attention. Now I have to care to get more views, to make more money, so I can support my jiu-jitsu career. That's basically it. If I had enough money, I would never be doing this stuff. Unfortunately, I like you guys, but if I had enough money, I would be over there. I'll be training all the time. I could take all the brain power I'm using on this live stream. I could apply it somewhere else. But a lot of these guys, they want attention. That's why they do this, guys. That's what drives them. That's why they train so hard. They want attention. But me and the old school guys, we just trained hard because we love jiu-jitsu. We just want to do jiu-jitsu. And, can't do that no more, unfortunately. Getting on something like this early could prove to be a great move if it's a success, since he could be one of the people alongside Mikey that UFC built their BJJ brand around. So the fact that the UFC is trying to build their brand around Mikey, they've already lost. They've already lost. You can't build your brand around Mikey. Mikey's not a builder. He's not a builder. He also has a pretty energetic and entertaining style, which could be appealing to casual UFC fans. I'm guessing it's possible that he's gambling on being the next Forrest Griffin or something. I say Griffin. He even alluded to his match with Cade at CGI being the Griffin versus Bonner, or submission grappling. So that's a valid theory. I like Tackett, man. He just, I think his hunger for that attention. Tackett, if you're watching this, I think that's what might be holding you back. I could be wrong. I could be a boomer. I am a boomer, but I think just that need for attention might be hindering you. Maybe not right now, but in the future, it can hinder you. Or you know what? Maybe it'll propel you to stardom. It'll propel you to the levels that, you never dreamed of. I never dreamed of. I never wanted to be famous, though. I don't want to be famous. If you guys go to like the tournament, I'd be having the hood on. I'd be like, I'd be like, be dodging the crowd. Not that a lot of people recognize me, but says, why not? In reality, big organizations have stable income rather than waiting for small organizations to do something. That's true. You can make that little bit of money, but you sign that exclusive contract, all your freedom's gone. Did he grow up watching UFC? There have been pro wrestlers recently who accepted less money to sign with the WWE instead of AEW, simply because it's been their dream to make it in the WWE. Yeah, Tackett's already said they want it to be in the UFC. The thing is, they're they're blinded by the UFC, the thought of the UFC. But, people like me, PJ Barge, and others, even other MMA fighters, have been trying to tell these guys, be careful, be smart, but there's only so much we can say. And then what happens in 5 years later? They're like, man, the UFC, once the UFC's done with them and used them all up, they got CTE, their body's broken. It's like, what's left, I mean, maybe they achieved their dream of being in the UFC, but again, we're trying to talk about the back end, what it's actually like when you get in there. It's not going to be all roses, Dana White's not a good boss. He's not a good person, and that's who you want to kind of put your career into the hands of. I think they would do better sticking with the CJI, sticking with Craig Jones. I mean, Dana White's track record is that says everything. Heck, even Mikey's track record. Mikey gonna ditch you, bro. He gonna ditch you. This is hilarious. This show is never going to do anything. If people really think any regular Joe Schmo is going to watch this, then they have lost their minds. This is only being watched by jiu-jitsu fans. From what they said, he is allowed to do CGI for the $1 million next year. Let's see. We don't know. Daddy Dana can change that contract overnight. And UFC offered him a good deal when he gets a bunch of fights per year for solid money. So nothing's guaranteed with those fights. And then what happens when he wants to get out of that contract and UFC's like, oh, you got 4 more fights? Isn't that what the UFC does to the fighters regularly? They keep adding more fights so you can't leave their organization, and then you got to buy out the contract. And then, they can man, come on, Tackett. Come on, man. I mean, how many people got to get screwed over? How many more people got to get screwed over before people learn? Says Hayabusa barely makes any BJJ gear, and their kickboxing gear is super overpriced. Pretty on brand for the UFC. Isn't the founder of Hayabusa a tough alumni? That's kind of neat. I don't expect them to allow sponsors on the show, but I'm sure the UFC will keep sticking it to their grapplers just like they do to the fighters, and not allow sponsorships during events either. So it feels like no matter what we say, the Tackett's going to do what they want to do. Mikey's going to do what he wants to do. And I mean, I'll keep making videos about it. I get views off this. Listen, if I could make an instructional video and get a lot of views, I would do that. But you guys got bored of collar sleeve, spider guard, knee cut passing, folding pat. Like, there's only so much I can do. There's only so many technique videos I can do. I mean, John Thomas, arguably the best coach, coach on YouTube, best, instructional guy on YouTube. There's only how many times can he do a knee cut pass? How many times can he do a Toriando pass? How many, bro, eventually I'm like, I've done everything. And, I mean, you got to let some of the young guys make some content and show their stuff. I don't know. Let's talk about Jason Nolf. He's in the UFC BJJ as well. I believe Nolf should go back to wrestling, Dake, he can take Dake out. He can take Dake, I believe. 74, you can take him out. Let's go, man. You got some good guys, but I think Dake could do really well, man. Dake, get in there, man. Or not Dake, Jason Nolf, get in there. I think he gave up too early. He should have just waited until kind of how what how Kyle Dake kind of waited for JB to get little beat up. So I think Jason Nolf should do one. You got to go for the Olympic teams though, bro. Please, Jason Nolf, if you're watching this, go for the Olympic team. This UFC, this ain't nothing, bro. This ain't shit. UFC ain't shit, bro. Go for the Olympics, bro. Go for the Olympics. Do it for us. Be the first BJ. Well, I guess technically a meet is like the first BJJ. She's a purple belt, so she's the first BJJ Olympian. There might be some judoka people too, but we're not counting them right now. So they say, how do you feel about Jason Nolf being in the first season? Isn't he a blue belt? Being a former folk style wrestler and a current high school wrestling coach, I know how high level Jason's grappling is, but I'm kind of against the idea of him being allowed to compete at such a high level in a completely different sport just because of his accolades in wrestling. I definitely feel like he was given a spot to draw in some of the wrestling crowd, but in doing so, I think there's a lot of higher level jiu-jitsu artists who probably got gypped out of a spot because of dude's accomplishments in a completely different sport. An example of how weird this situation is what would happen if we put, I don't know, Mikey Musumeci on the world team for freestyle. Well, Mikey would get destroyed. The wrestling community would freak out because it makes no sense. Well, UFC BJJ they don't care about jiu-jitsu. They don't care about us. We keep telling you guys that. He's a good name in wrestling, and he gave Ty a hell of a match in CJI. I don't mind it. Curious to see how well he does. Nicky Rod was a blue and took silver at ADCC. He's fighting some fat dudes, some old fat dudes, for the trials. But he definitely got that silver medal at ADCC. He for sure got that, and he wasn't half the wrestler Nolf is. It's almost like It's almost like basing someone's ability off of the color of an arbitrary piece of cloth is outdated. Well, he's saying Nolf hasn't really competed in jiu-jitsu. Big Dan actually had a good explanation for it somewhere. My wife plays tennis. They have a UTR rating. It's like a chess ELO rating. I reckon this makes more sense, but the belt system is ingrained in us. Yeah, let's not talk about ELO. Not really applicable for ADCC and such, but Trumpet Dan is currently developing. He has it. It's not developing. It's out there. Let's not talk about ELO. Is he winning his matches? Maybe. I don't know. They haven't put out his first match yet. He won one tourney and beat a blue belt from B team to win the tourney. Curious to see how fast he can get good at BJJ and what progress he's made. Funny how you chose Mikey Musumeci for the world team analogy. There are many high-level BJJ athletes that would give their respective countries' world team members a run for their money. I don't know, man. This is a clown show. All I'm trying to say is that the Mikey analogy was corny and that Nolf deserves his spot. BJJ is bringing new wind to wrestling in other countries. Australia and UK are producing better wrestlers than ever before. Podium ready? Absolutely not. But the plus side is that the synergy in the grappling world is in an all-time high, except for judo. Judo not really synergizing with us. Would rather see Nolf than Varela. Varela just doesn't win anything. He won PGF last year. It says put Mikey in freestyle and he would get crushed. Mikey's not coordinated on his feet. And now on the ground, he's great. Wrestling is a much better base for BJJ than BJJ for wrestling. You even see wrestlers competing at ADCC, but you never see BJJ's guys competing at high-level wrestling tournaments. Well, we had Lovato. He did one of the wrestling tournaments recently and won it too. No, he got third place, I think. Mikey being on the world team is irrelevant. These guys on the show aren't competing to represent a country at the highest level. This brings up another point about the show that I dislike. If this is supposed to be the grappling version of Tough, then the premise of the show was giving unknown up-and-comers a chance to get to be on the biggest stage. Guys like Andrew Tackett, Andy Varela, Isaac Josasonos, Keith Kikorian, and Gianni Grippo are already well-known and compete in big competitions. You have Josh and Keith, who have already competed at ADCC. Asare got silver at trials. Tackett won trials but competed at CGI instead, and Varela also competed at CGI. Half the contestants are more accomplished than Reverson. All of them are more accomplished than Harrison. And who's even asking for a Mikey versus Gabriel match? Harrison. And at least the coaches of Tough were matchups people wanted to see. Lovato just got bronze at the U.S. Open this year in wrestling, Masters Division, obviously, but still very impressive. Jason Nolf is a white belt. He's there for entertainment, not only because anyone thinks he's actually going to win. At least Pat Downey won worlds at blue belt. Remember that this is primarily for entertainment. So people are included to spark exactly this kind of conversation. There are meant to be some lopsided matches. I mean, most of the matches are lopsided because they are much more fun to watch, and everyone loves the underdog story. When it comes to belts and BJJ, they are more tied to martial arts side. Stop attacking our belts, guys. I mean, there's no way you can tell me that Jason Nolf should be a black belt. No training in jiu-jitsu. Can't do no spider guard. Probably can't shrimp out. He don't know enough. You can't be a black belt, bro. You could be really great. You could be a really great grappler. Take a J-Rod. He's a great grappler. He can't tell you how to do a worm guard or how to get out of a worm guard or how to pass a lasso. He don't deserve a black belt to me. Why should he get a black belt? He don't do no gi techniques. He don't use the gi at all, even when he's training no gi or gi. Got Inside Arma BJJ. So if you guys are in the UK, go check them out. We had a debate, me and Jason Whitfield. I said the Arma Jiu-Jitsu might be a better school than Gordon Ryan's King's Way. I'll go train with Fionn, and Jason Whitfield can go train with Gordo and get staff. He can go get staff over there with those dudes. So it's going to be expensive. 200 pounds per month is insane for London. It's super, super high. Not a single gym except RGA has come even near this. So Hadra Gracie says London Grapple does 160 a month euros, guys, but that's if you want access to MMA and striking classes. Their fee just for grappling is 135. So in Europe they charge a lot less. Los Benditos does 180 a month for a full membership. Alliance does 280. Of course, Alliance is super expensive. Alliance crazy. That's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there are more very highly priced gyms in London, although surely none top Alliance. Dang, I gotta send that to my man Christian. Yo, Christian, 280, bro. Let me screenshot that real fast. If you guys don't know, I got my black belt under Alliance, but this is crazy. Yo, guys, don't go to the Alliance gym. If you're in the UK, don't go to this gym. Who's over there? They ain't got nobody teaching over there for 280. The facility's nice. For sure the facility's nice. It ain't worth that price though, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Go train with Fionn for 200 pounds. What you getting at Alliance, bro? I'm screenshotting that. What you getting at? Who the coach over there? You know what they do? They put some random Brazilian dudes in charge. Can those guys speak English? They got the same cookie cutter website. You can't even see who the coaches are. They sold out, bro. Oh, that girl. That girl's good. She good though. She good. She not 280 good. She not. She Henrique Resende. I don't know if I know him. I've definitely seen Hanato Marina. She stopped competing in 2019. She's a black belt under Fabio Gurgel. She might be a good coach. 280 though, guys. 280. I'm going to Fionn for 280. For 200. This guy, he won Nogi world champion at black belt. They don't say what year. 2-time Nogi Pan Am champion. He's a first place Nogi world champion black belt IBJF. What year was that though? It ain't worth the 280. I'm sorry, Alliance guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna send that to my boy Christian. That 280, that ain't worth 280. Says fair. It's not that far fetched. It's a luxury gym like Lifetime or Equinox. Not sure what the UK equivalent is, and wouldn't be a hard sell to get funding from an investor. Saudis and Emiratis invest in a lot of real estate in London. There's people with money in London. I bet they can also pivot as a luxury non-BJJ fitness space, which they have that, if the BJJ side doesn't pick up, which is a lower risk for investors to recoup their money. So let's check it out. Hopefully we don't get hit with the copyright strike. We're just going to zoom through it real fast. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to play a little bit faster. Hopefully I don't get hit with the copyright.
I think it's going to be the biggest jiu-jitsu gym in Europe.
Armour for me.
The music, bro. So that's the founder. You got Fionn there. Tariq, he's gonna be a guest coach. I think, man, listen, that's gonna be better than Alliance School. Got Egan over there. Look at the gym. Those are mock-ups, but looks like it's gonna be beautiful. You're not gonna get staff like you would at probably at Kingsway. Gonna be a beautiful gym.
Hours of a mini day.
Can't play that music, guys. Sorry. So they're working on developing it. Go there. Don't go to the Alliance gym. I'm Alliance black belt. I got my black belt from Alliance. I'm telling you to go somewhere else, bro. 280. I'm sorry. It ain't worth the 280.
Okay. Yeah. You see the building. Yeah.
I think the location is probably one of the best things with it. It's right by, you can pretty much see Clapham Common from there. We're 2 minutes walk to Clapham Common tube station. The building itself, it's a 3-story big space. So I personally just love the fact that it's so light. You can't see it today because it's London, but there's just so many big windows that are going to have so much sunlight, and it's just going to be a nice place to train.
And no more need for multi-gym memberships. Literally, Armour will look after everything for you. So that's something we're super excited about. Really positive for everyone that comes here. It's going to be a great place for people to hang out and spend lots of time.
Fionn, go train with Fionn, guys.
Yeah, you're good here. Yeah,
Actually,
really,
you can jig up like that.
Yeah, have a lot of tension here. Just to keep, I can't move. And now you go here and wedge that down. Now scoop. Yeah, now lock. Yeah, now hoist. Lock. Yeah, that's well tight.
Hang on.
I feel like, yeah, but I think you got to bring your arm down and out. Yeah, that little gap here. And now front. Yeah. You might be, a lot of the time, you might be able to get the inside.
I think the biggest reason I was drawn to Armour was the high-level people that were coming in. Obviously, it's an opportunity to be able to coach. Like, I'm still competing.
So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. But yeah, check them out, man. I think it's gonna be something special. We'll see how they operate, having all the athletes there. You know, it might be hard to balance the guest people with everyone else. Did they cut me off, guys? Are we still live? Oh, that music didn't get me, bro. Oh, we're still live, I think. But I think, shoot, we're going for a long time. Yeah, but I think we're gonna watch the match too. But I think they got something special. I kind of wish that Roszinski would have stayed in Europe and built something there. You know, he can make a lot of money. I think that's what Alexander Trans did. You guys know Alexander Trans. He opened up a school in Texas. But I think it's very short-sighted. You know, you can build your own little kingdom, or you can create a whole new wave of, you know, up-and-comers and stuff. So we'll see. Let's watch the matches.
All right, Sean, here he goes. Kendall Roosing, Sean Williams calling the action in your main event with the belt on the line. Here we go.
Yes. Jonatas has a really nice single. He kind of blasts in there for it, which is good. You don't really want to give Mika an overhook for anything like the time, and he sits guard.
So Jonatas pulls guard.
Mika immediately drove that right knee in the middle, though.
But
yeah,
Mika's got a good knee cut on this
guard,
side.
close the distance
I don't want to hear Sean Williams
legs. He's able to put his knee through the middle.
Position. It's outside now, but I think that was really smart to bring his elbow and his knee connected as he entered.
Nice thing. God, dog, how do you do that? So we're gonna study Mika a little bit, see how he's doing this, bro. That's crazy how he does this stuff.
Outside now, but I think that was really smart to bring his elbow and his knee connected.
So he did like a Toriando kind of into an underhook.
That flying knee cut, Sean.
underhook. He put that knee cut, leg pummeled right away.
Wow, look at the shin pinning here on the near side arm.
He's worked himself to
That's
the
crazy
mat.
because Donatis is strong too.
Less than a minute to the mount. The shin pinning was beautiful. He's got a head and arm control here.
And he should be able to do this again with that body, upper body.
Can somebody test Mika Gava?
He should be able to get that knee cutting through the middle.
He's too fast and too strong.
Didn't like what he felt left off now. Now here, Jonas is very,
You know, just too fast and too strong. Nice entry on the legs.
on the heel hook is Mika, look at that.
Right to the back. How does he do that? Mika's good, man. I can't lie. But we need to test this man, bro.
Ooh, look at this. See, look at him going on the heel hook.
Nice entry through the back.
Oh, back exposure, big
From the
time
running
here.
man. That's pretty amazing. Can somebody test him?
I'm talking about.
I don't know what compounds this dude's on.
Not very often, and so drop on a leg and then come up with a back take. So it's just one of those things.
Judges favor blue.
Mika, as he so seamlessly blends his back takes and the passing sequences, and we see that from many high-level competitors. And a nice friendly exchange here between these guys. Mika known for that, right? Known for being very friendly.
I mean, it's crazy when. Well, you guys already know Donatis got hit, but it's crazy. I guess some people will respond better to it. I mean, they both got hit. They both got hit by USADA, right? So just crazy how some people, you know, their nervous systems reacting differently, the contractile tissue.
Submission and then submission to position again through movement, because it's usually though it's not set. It may or may not be set.
At that point, like say you're using all this vitamins and stuff. I just wonder, like, are we still live, guys? I just wonder. Let me pause it. I just wonder, like, how do you feel like you've done everything in your power to be good, but like no amount of like nothing's helping you. Technique, you can't beat the dude with technique. Can't beat the dude with vitamins. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Kind of interested in that. Let's keep watching.
Arm drag or potentially to stuff that arm, but with Mika's arms connected, I think that proved to be pretty impossible.
Yeah.
We do see body lock passing from Mika quite often as well, so I think that's going to feel threatening to anyone when his hands are locked around your waist that way. Always kind of has the knee cut ready to go, though, like you said, Shawnee. Has that knee kind of riding on the back of the thigh, waiting for that entrance. And even here, he has to be careful with that tilt sweep that Jonas could throw on him with the legs. Closed guard with the knee inside, but again,
I don't think Johnson should have pulled guard. He should have stayed on top.
Using that knee cut well, as you mentioned.
Yeah, homeboy should have stayed on top.
Reverse daily heave, I believe. I can't quite see the other angle, but I think he might have locked his feet at this point too.
We might see Mika move to the right, start to pick up his knees off the floor, and start moving more into the guard.
Oh, big crossface there. And we see
Pato's coaching who?
as well. Now, Diego Pato is currently the only concurrent two-weight champion at Flow Grappling, who's number
Nice
one.
little Troy bar entry, almost.
Jonas going after that arm lock on that far side, but he got his leg over the head.
Bro, Mika, what is Mika on, bro?
More than that, but
I don't think Mika can. He can't fight in IBJJF. He looked too strong.
by his neck.
It was the same arm that he was trying to arm drag earlier as well, so I think it's just interesting to note that.
That's crazy because Donatis is really strong too, and then Mika's over here just like.
Hard to imagine what your game plan would be coming up against Mika Galval, right?
He's very difficult to make us very specific. You have some general game plans and understand general weaknesses, but it's
You got to come at Mika like K does, like a bat out of hell.
shake some things up. It's, you know, it's
We're gonna zoom through a little bit. He's looking for the raw drag. Judges favor blue.
Oh, potential.
What was that? Bear trap entry?
His
No.
right hip stays so heavy. Oh.
How did he slip through there?
I mentioned earlier, Mika's pressure on the knee shield. Anytime we see it, his right hip stays so heavy. Oh, potential leg entry or even some back exposure for Jonatis on Mika, but that gotta be careful with that topside leg.
Well, Jonathan, he got good control of the hip. He's good from here. He's good at the back take. He's good at trying to get back to leg drags.
You know what? Jonathan's been training at AOJ.
He's good. Jonathan's actually really good in these positions.
Hey, oh, that was nice. That was nice. Yo, that was nice. Yo, he didn't control it though.
Yeah. Wedge back takes, you know.
I forgot Jonathan's been at AOJ. AOJ guys just can't beat Mika. Why is that? Why can't the AOJ guys beat Mika? Is he just that good?
Interesting to see if we see a different approach from Jonatis. He pulled earlier in the match, right? And Mika was able to bring his knee in the middle off that pole.
Hey, what was that?
We
Oh, he just kind of kicked his leg though. That wasn't technical. Maybe it was. I was so fast, couldn't see it. Okay, I'm gonna say it wasn't technical, but we're zooming through a little bit, guys. Body lock pass. You gotta push off that neck, bro. How is Mika this strong?
Yeah, see, now he's got to sprawl his leg a little bit. You get a body lock, it's hard to move down low enough to walk right over the top of, yeah, like this. The legs separates the legs, and you can he will bridge like that. Climbing up an opponent that's going to bridge. You can almost bet that he will bridge like that, and then you climb right up the body.
Bro, he too strong, bro.
Walking to stumble up the body.
Hip switch over, another pass.
He too strong.
Almost makes his way over the mountain, hips back off. You know, of impatience on his face, and then that was right when Mika was stepping over.
Where was Guy Mendez at?
In a couple other matches. On that arm drag, I went.
The arm walk over for
Gracie with some. Yeah, it's such a common up the lower. You have people that are so high.
You guys see, I'll be watching jiu-jitsu, bro. I'd be zooming through. I'd be zooming through the match, man. I can't be watching all these. I mean, even this match, Mika Galvão, arguably the best jiu-jitsu fighter right now. Even him, I got to zoom through.
One judge's favor for Mika, and no surprise there with the strong passes. But Jontas is the kind of competitor you really can.
Yeah, how is Mika so strong, guys? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Janatas is strong, and then Mika is like manhandling Janatas.
I mean, how many people recover from the mount of Mika Galvão, right? Like just to make sure.
Just so you guys know, they've both been hit by USADA. Where's USADA? USADA, come and save my man Janatas out here. Shoulder lock. Let's see if you got shoulder pinch. Nope. Yeah, if you want to beat Mika, you got to come at him like Cade. I think Cade possibly tied the only guys that can beat Mika right now.
The butterfly position with the legs to then move Jontas' knees out of the inside position, or it's with the arm when he's in side control to remove a frame. He does such a great job of using his lower body to control the limbs. That can be forgotten sometimes when we get very focused on using the upper body to grab and control. You see great grapplers oftentimes use their lower body to do the same. Here another judge's favor for Mika Galvão, hoping to prize. This is grappling champion.
Little false reap entry. Mika's not even doing. He's not even doing the right defenses to the moves. He's not even doing the right defense to the moves. He's just so strong. How is he? Look at this. So Janatas got a false reap. He just pressures through the leg. Like, how is that a real technique, bro? He's grabbing the wrist. I saw that. But, man, that's like, come on. This ain't real jiu-jitsu, bro. What is this? What kind of jiu-jitsu is this?
Mika again controlling that arm and jumps over the top. We see him here often on these Kimuras. This could be it. He is very dangerous from this position. Look at the extension. Look at the
He lost it.
Kicking the arms.
Come on top.
That was a very nice.
Hey, stay on top. Ah.
Jonas just jumps on top of Mika and
The AOJ guys don't have wrestling. And you know what? They don't have space to wrestle at their gym. They ain't got no space at their gym to wrestle.
response to having that moment of freedom tells us a lot about where Jontas wants to be. He wants to be on top. He wants to change things up. He's not looking to be on bottom, risk getting his guard passed again. But he's going to have to take down Mika to do it. I don't see Mika pulling here unless maybe there's a flying submission, which we do see quite often, right?
As much as I like watching these guys go, I mean, yeah, that's not super technical. I do wonder about these guys' health. So just so you guys know, I think Janatas is like 25. He looks older than me. Mika looks young, but I want to see the internals. I want to see his blood panel. I want to see that blood panel. He's been doing his body lock. I don't know, bro. How is this kid, like Janatas is super strong, trains at AOJ. How is this guy over here just manhandling him?
The underhook now is a little high.
You could say his technique.
A little bit too high.
Some of that stuff wasn't technique, though, guys.
Jonas even wants to make a frame on his own knee. It'll be very difficult for
Some of that stuff ain't technique, though.
his hands like, yeah, he's going to have to let go.
Back in a very similar position. Has those legs locked, but now figure four is his legs. Jontas Gracie's got a tight figure four on the leg of Mika, or is it over the thigh? A little hard to see.
Yeah, I think he's still thinking about a false reap / calf slicer to get some. There's a nice inversion.
Similar to what we saw earlier. We saw his exact position, Sean.
He's got the hip lock on the far side.
Janatas, you should have been able to score with those back takes, bro.
The legs are working.
You train at AOJ, bro. This is all AOJ. I mean, he just got there.
Absolutely. They're Jonas can get that right knee.
So I don't think the AOJ guys can beat Mika. It doesn't seem like there's any AOJ guy that can beat Mika. Not Cole, not maybe Pato, not Tynan. Fabry.
Create some more space here now.
Yeah, Donatas was going to win with that performance.
From him so far. Jonas had a good look of control in that wrist with 2 hands.
And man, you know, all these guys, they got the exclusive contract in the UFC. We ain't gonna see them fight Mika. I want to see Tackett versus Mika. I want to see all those guys versus Mika. That should be the show. It's just everybody fighting Mika. That was a nice pass. That was a nice pass. Don't go for that.
Some head attacks, some arm attacks here if Johnson continues to turn.
I think Mika's he's going to try to finish. I mean, I think he's really stepped up the pace. An arming guillotine.
Vamos, vamos.
Yeah, onto the dark.
It's wild because Donatas is super strong. It's not on.
Looks pretty, it's on the face maybe now.
You know, Donatas is super strong, and then Mika's over here. We got it. We need to test Mika, man. We need to test this kid.
Now it could still be insanely painful right there. So
I mean, a lot of people are going to be tapping to that shot. Maybe not Jonatas, but a lot of people.
Donatas had a couple good movements, but he didn't wasn't tight with them. That was a good match. Let's watch one more match, guys. We got one more match we're gonna watch. If my computer listens to me. You know, some of these guys are just wild. So we're gonna be watching. Can you guys see it? We're gonna watch the Lucas Lira match versus Achilles Hosha. Now it'll be the last video, guys, and then I'll let you guys go off and enjoy your June 19th here in America.
Lucas just competed. Didn't he just compete in the fight?
We're gonna speed it up a little bit.
Couple ago, right?
Yeah, I think so. I remember the first time I saw Lucas. I think it was at a ADCC Open. I just saw him heel hooking everybody. It was crazy. I was like, "Who is this guy?"
All right, here we go. Let's hear for your competitors.
Guys, don't expect no technique in this role, okay?
Starting off instantly, arm drag almost to the back. That was good.
That was nice.
That mask too small too. Achilles, you know, Achilles, he definitely his father's son.
This is gonna be fire.
I think he's like 18 or 19 or something.
Ooh, it's a good duck under attempt to the shot, running people over.
Man. The crowd better watch out.
He got that kind of, you know, he's still in a young body.
Ooh, a little kick.
He's still in a young, kind of goofy body.
That was really slick, right?
Yeah, sneaky.
Very sneaky. Oh, and he's gonna come.
Oh, that's cool.
My goodness.
But he does
Right,
crazy, like stuff like this.
What are those?
Ranking on the head.
Those like little shaky, you know, like.
Yeah, it's to irritate them. I hate it when people do that.
He does stuff like that. So I mean, what do you expect?
So watch that. I don't think it's tight.
Actually, it is tight. What are you talking about?
I wonder if you just train jiu-jitsu from when you're like.
Lyra's okay. He fought Ryan Aiken and some other guys. Achilles, he just recently fought Tackett. Got tapped in like 5 seconds.
Doing it. I just wonder.
They do some crazy stuff though.
That's funny.
So remember what I said? Where all these guys, these young guys, just want attention.
Just here to have a good time.
They both look
Well, that's
very
how they
content,
grapple.
really.
That's how Tackett grapples. That's how Achilles Hosha grapples. They're all about attention.
Yeah.
Very attention-seeking.
I'm personally not a mouthpiece type of person.
No,
I
oh
don't
man,
know.
wait till you chip one of your teeth.
Yeah, I know.
And then when you're old enough that you have to pay for it, it'll be a different story.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh.
A lot of kicking. This is how they be rolling in Miami, bro.
But after a little
and this is a main character. Hopefully, main character is okay with this.
Revenge. Who's over here having conversations with each other? This is hilarious.
You know, man, I don't like when people roll like this. I know you guys love it.
You know?
Yep.
But when I'm out there, I don't like when people doing this stuff to me, kicking me, slapping me.
Like waiter guard.
But you know what is on the line, Dean?
What
The
is
belt.
that?
The main character jiu-jitsu belt is on the line.
I mean,
So
I was kicking my
we are gonna have
opponent in the balls
champion.
last tournament.
Oh, yeah.
That was an accident though.
Looks like he's going for
Little
a
heel hook here. He trying to break. He trying to break this kid's leg.
Might be. No, his knee's out. He's good.
He trying to break that kid's leg.
Oof. Huh? It's like
Achilles wrestled up.
they don't want to wrestle.
Lucas, sit down.
Yeah.
They can't wrestle. How are they
Both
going to
of them
wrestle?
feet.
The camera guys are right on the mat. How are they going to wrestle? People eating and drinking right next to them. How are you going to wrestle?
What is he saying? I wonder. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You see what I'm talking about, guys? See what I'm talking about?
Let's get the crowd going a little bit.
Is this the jiu-jitsu you guys want to see? Because I don't want to be a part of that.
Here's some energy for these guys.
That's not the wrestling. That's not the jiu-jitsu I want to be a part of.
Triangle attempt.
And I'll say you guys go out there and grapple. You go grapple with Achilles Hosha and let me know how that works for you guys.
Tries to go into saddle. Onto the foot. There you go. Ooh, heavy collar tie. And another one. Back and forth. This is hilarious. Another one. Holy. The ref had to stop it with that one.
I missed that. Let me see that again.
Holy one. Back and forth.
Yeah, this is attention-seeking stuff.
Head
The
collar
slapping
tie.
the
Another
head.
one. Back and forth.
This too much, man.
This is hilarious.
This ain't
Another one.
professional.
Holy. The ref had to stop it with that
It's
one.
not marketable.
Achilles is like, it's just a collar tie.
Where's Wagner Hosha at? Miami wild, bro. Miami a wild place, bro. That Lucas Lira guy, he like 20s or 30s. Achilles like 18.
Goes for like a calf slicer.
Yeah, he was about to go for that. It's got in like a reverse X.
Yeah, goes to Ashi.
Back to X.
Back to the cradle.
Ooh. Oh, that leg's
Lucas
out.
actually got a good guard though.
No, yeah, he's got it out.
He got a good guard actually. He didn't look this good against Ryan Aiken, but he's looking good. Well, I guess Luke.
Like it's a 10-minute match, so you're not trying to tire themselves out.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, my elbow. Oh.
That could have been a really bad. Like that could have broke his arm.
Yeah.
I was going for the sweep. Oh, that's the dude from ADCC. That's the guy at ADCC.
You know that could have really hurt his arm.
Let me. The thing is, they let this stuff escalate. ADCC, they don't have a lot of rules. This kind of behavior is expected. Very uncouth behavior. I'm not saying IBJJF is the best, but they're gonna penalize you whenever you do some stuff like this. ADCC, you don't get a slap on the wrist. You good. You just keep doing it.
I mean, in MMA maybe, but
He kicked that kick. He almost broke the elbow.
I would love to hear what ref is saying.
He did not look happy.
No.
He's usually a happy guy, but he did not look happy there.
Well, I'm just happy that Achilles isn't hurt from that.
Yeah, that could have been really bad.
Why was this an event? This is the worst event I've ever. It's not worse. It's actually exciting, but I'm saying as far as spectating is exciting, but as far as the competitors, it's very unprofessional, very emotional, very dangerous. Everything that's happened has been dangerous.
He's trying to get maybe like a tripod sweep. No, he's got the leg. He's going to come up.
Even for the audience, it's pretty dangerous for the audience.
We don't know what's happening.
They different in Miami, bro. They different.
Missed out on that one.
They different in Miami. Let's just leave it at that.
Definitely not the cleanest jiu-jitsu in this match.
Not the cleanest. Well, you got Achilles Hosha over there.
Guys, I'm not sure. I didn't know.
Their family don't know what clean grappling is.
Yeah. But it's just such a high level competitors that they just got to. I think they're just trying to be creative and aggressive. But
somebody hit the power line.
Little flash.
Unhook De La Hiva. These guys over here, they're doing too much, bro.
Sort of waiter guard type of thing.
Man, he walked right into that.
Oh!
He's about to tap. I almost got him.
Oh. Nice
Good
pressure.
yeah. steps back. Nope, knee line's out.
It seems to be happening a lot. They both drop to a leg lock and then they slip the knee out. He's going for a leg lock.
At a certain point, you can't grab anything. That's the downside of Nogi. At a certain point, you can't grab anything. The mat too slippery. Can't wrestle.
10-minute match.
Can't pass. You can't do nothing.
Yeah. But you can tip your fighters. We'll put up the thing on the screen if you guys want to tip your fighters.
Tip your fighters.
Loves the money.
Why don't you pay the fighters?
We have the Cash App, Venmo, and the PayPal. So tip your fighters. Anything helps.
Dang.
Whoever you thought was the best tonight. We got Dean over here with a submission, one of a few submissions of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little stack pass. Nice little stack. Don't slam him. Don't slam him.
Oh. Doing good at locking the hips down.
My goodness.
This is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
He's staying on the back.
He's staying, and he got to the back.
Can he put his hooks in now?
How are they scoring this?
Yeah.
Might be submissions, though.
He doesn't have his left hook in.
Yeah. This is a good controlling position, though.
Nah, he's out.
Maybe he's going to try to go to like a crucifix? No.
Okay, maybe he's not out.
And he passed.
Lucas putting the thumbs up. Oh, works it back again. Gets one hook in. There's 30 seconds on the clock. Let's see what happens here. Now he has a Kimura.
Oh! Nah, he's out. Dang.
Now Lucas chasing the back.
And he's in full guard. Wow. The crowd goes crazy.
Now onto a 5-minute overtime.
We got most of the crowd on their feet.
Is this ADCC rules? I mean, they ain't scored nothing. Nothing scored.
Very. Now they're going to be both sprayed water on their head.
Now Achilles pulls.
Now they're going to be slippery. Saying something because of the wet water.
Why did he pull guard? He got gassed out.
Come on. I mean, they're.
Yeah, I don't know if like can openers are illegal or not in this.
I mean, they're legal in ADCC. Oh.
Nice shoulder lock.
Nice try.
Man, I don't want to roll none of those dudes, bro.
Achilles just looks so calm.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna give up to these dudes. I'll roll with them. I don't want to though.
That lasso.
You guys can roll with them.
So it's a 5-minute overtime versus the 3-minute overtime from the other matches.
Yes.
But again, we are going to be crowning a champion here tonight after this match. Hoping to see a submission, but
who knows?
Who knows? It's a good match so far, that's for sure.
Where's Lyra's girlfriend at?
Let's hear for these guys.
Zoom through a little bit.
Was it Roosevelt doing that? Yeah, earlier.
So.
The 50.
Achilles got tired, man. All that showboating got tired. He just kicked him.
He drops to a guillotine. Front headlock position.
Is he going to go for Anaconda? Is he going to take the back? What do you think?
I think he's going to chase the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sucker drag.
Got Achilles stumbling.
Oh, no. What happened to him?
Yeah.
Got Achilles stumbling.
He tired.
Jesus.
Getting them hyped.
Yeah.
Already 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Oh, my goodness.
Could go to decision.
It looks like it might. Who you got if it goes to decision, Dean?
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That was cool. Honestly, I think I might have to give it to Achilles. He's had more like attempts for stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I might have to give it to Achilles. Who is commentating? Who's commentating?
The judges have been a little bit on and off tonight, so I don't know.
Why would you give it to Achilles?
But, you know, they're seeing something different from what we're seeing, too, so you never know.
We're just the commentators.
We're looking at a little TV back here.
Yeah, but commentators, you gotta be kind of close to. Bro, it's wild out here, bro. It's wild out here. I mean, Lyra had more submissions.
1 minute until these guys get going here.
Achilles did a few stuff, but he's gassing out right now. No way he could get the point, the call. There's no way. How would you give this kid the call? He had a close submission. He had maybe one close submission and one back take. But overall, I think Lira did more active, more.
Achilles not wanting to stand up, staying on his knees.
More just more effective, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. It's Miami, bro. It's all corrupt out there.
Achilles looking at those legs, trying to do something to take him down, score points. Both of them just looking to score. Back to the front headlock. Achilles goes tripod. He grabs the foot. Spins out of it. Now they're wrestling. Achilles lands in closed guard. I think Lucas tried to.
Hey, I don't know.
Only seconds left. Definitely gonna go to decision. And that's time. Let's see. Figure has the decision. People are cheering.
He's like, give me the crown of Miami. I'm the king of Miami.
Little blood stain on Achilles.
They have the same sponsor? They're both sponsored by Tatami? How are they both sponsored by Tatami? They both used to be Fight Sports. They both used to be Fight Sports, right? And his girlfriend used to be Cyborg's girlfriend. His wife used to be Cyborg's girlfriend. That's kind of a little weird, but you guys, that's what you guys be doing. Not me. You guys do that stuff.
Everybody's eager to know. Moy standing in the back, ready to give him the belt.
Yeah, they both used to be Fight Sports. Hey, you got the Jamaican dude that be in the 10 Planet Girls DMs.
Okay. We have a new champion, and your winner by decision.
Oh! Achilles like, what the heck? What the hell? That was not a professional match, man. It was crazy. I'm hoping the sport doesn't go down that route either, where it's just free-for-all. There's no technique.
Check out our sponsors of the event. Eric the Defender, Matt Funk, and Fighting Chance Academy.
You know, I'm open. I know that's entertaining for you guys, but I hope the sport doesn't go that route where you just insanity. You know, I much rather go down the wrestling route where you're just like, you know, technical. The technical guys can't be as exciting. You know, that match was exciting. It was entertaining, but I mean, compared to the Mika match that we saw earlier versus Janatis, that was the better match. That was a more technical match. So I'm not sure what the future of jiu-jitsu is. I hope we can push forth with the technical, more not palatable, but more, you know, man, not as crazy. The stuff they were doing in this match, that ain't good, man. They're kicking the elbow, pushing people into the crowd. I mean, you ain't gonna get sponsors like that. You're not gonna grow your sport like that. It's gonna get some goofballs following. But if you want more mainstream appeal, you know, the UFC BJJ ain't the way to do it. This ain't the way to do it. I think, honestly, CJI brought in a lot of different viewers. You got your jiu-jitsu people, you had your MMA people, a little bit of judo people. You had your people that don't train that were watching it. I think that's the future. Who's number one? You know, can draw people too. IBJF can draw people too. So we'll see, man. You guys enjoy your rest of your holiday, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Again, happy Juneteenth to all my people celebrating Juneteenth. I'm about to get some food myself, and that's it, guys. If you want to support the channel, Inverted Gear or BJ Mental Models. I'm working on the video. Hopefully next week. Hoping for next week, man. I'm about to drop some stuff on you guys. And that's it, man. You guys stay out of trouble. Stay healthy. Stay away from the vitamins. And wash your ass, as Kevin Randleman said. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.